Well, hello, my lovelies. It's Murky Meg here. It is Thursday, the 29th of February. Hey, it's a leap year. Something rather a bit special, isn't it? Well, today I'm going to be speaking about Harry, who thinks he's extremely special. So, bear with. So, we all know, as I have documented on this channel numerous times, that Harry, in his own wisdom, sued our Home Office, our government, the UK government, for his protection. Now, as I've said before, during the Sandringham summit that happened in January 2020, it was all laid out for him. The options were laid out, basically saying that if he left, he would not be privy to his private protection. Now, that's the Royal Protection Officers that protect all of the royal family. If you walk away, you lose your protection, basically, or the protection that's paid for by the British taxpayer, the Royal Protection Officers. Harry, in his infinite wisdom, thought, nah, that won't be the case, and just went anyway. When he realised that, in fact, that was the case, he then stomped his feet, screamed a little bit, tried to throw his weight around, and when again was told no, he sued the Home Office because he said that he'd been unfairly treated. In his mind, because he is a prince of the realm, and there's no denying that he is the son of the monarch, that he should, and his family should, automatically be granted police protection when he is at least in the UK. Now, while the Home Office and RAVAC, who is the board committee that decide who's going to get this protection, said it will be on a case-by-case basis, they meant it. But unfortunately, that in itself wasn't good enough for Harry. Harry wants all the intel, he wants the protection to carry guns, he wants everything that he used to have when he's in the UK. Now, while he's on royal family business, so for example, Prince Philip's funeral, the Queen's funeral, the Platinum Jubilee, he got police protection. That's because he was around the royal family. And if RAVAC or the Home Office thought that there was any situation where he needed security, i.e. a case-by-case basis, he would receive it to protect him. But unfortunately, what Harry wants is somebody to be by his side at all times. He thinks that he's at greater risk, and I quote that this has come out of the court case, which, they told him no yesterday. Yesterday, he was slapped down by the court, and the judge ruled that the decision by RAVAC still stood, that he was not entitled to full-time protection, or protection when he's in the UK, unless they deem it that is needed, i.e. case-by-case basis. But what transpires in these court documents is that Harry now considers himself to be at greater risk than Diana, Princess Diana. Harry claimed he believed that he was at a greater risk of being harmed than his mother due to the racism and extremism High Court documents have revealed. He said his family would be put in a position that no one was willing to put my mother in 23 years ago by removing his security in a letter to the head of the Home Civil Service. In this letter, he said that there was additional layers of racism and extremism and demanded that someone is comfortable taking the accountability for what could happen to his wife Meghan Markle and their children Archie and Lilibet. And in this document, it also revealed that Al-Qaeda had called for the father of two to be killed after he wrote that killing Taliban fighters. Well, that was your own stupid fault, Harry. We told you at the time when it actually came out that you were a silly, silly boy for putting that in your book. You really, really were a very, very silly boy. And actions have consequences. You wrote about it, so therefore it was out in the public domain. What did you expect was going to happen? Now, it always was going to come up to common sense with regards to this. Harry wanted to pay for Met Police protection, and of course, as always, and I've always said on this, you cannot pay for the police protection. They are not for hire. Unfortunately, he doesn't understand this and still is demanding it. So, should a non-working member of the royal family receive publicly funded protection? Because if you can't pay for it, that's exactly where the money is going to come from. And I believe that this is firmly why Harry has recently said that he would be willing to come back part-time to help with the load, because he knows that he will receive security. Regardless of exactly what he said about Britain and the people of Britain, that he absolutely hates us, although he would deny that, we all know that's true. It's been on numerous documentaries or interviews or whatever he's been doing that he gets palpitations every time he flies over London, and it flashbacks, and he doesn't like coming back to the UK. But ultimately, he and his wife stepped away from royal life while the other royals continue working. So should he receive the same level of taxpayer-funded security that other working members of the royal family get? In my opinion, no. But of course that wasn't good enough for Harry, so he sued our Home Office, and it's now been said, absolutely not, sunshine. You weren't mistreated, it wasn't unfair, and the decision still stands. And of course, Harry is appealing that decision, which was yesterday the High Court refused his application for a judicial review, which basically means that he lost his case. But as we always know, this wasn't going to be left lying down, and as I've stated, he is going to appeal this. Unfortunately, he is now going to have to stomp up the cost because he lost. So does that mean that he's going to be paying for all the fees? Because in court, the loser always has to pay the fees of the winner. But I'm not quite sure on that one, because if that would be the case, it would have been in the review itself. It would have been in the court document, and at no point does it actually mention costs and who is expected to meet those costs. I would just like to make it very, very clear. A lot of misinformation is going around with regards to social media, and Harry himself has, kind of said that he got taken away. His father took away his security. That's not the case at all. The Home Office took away his security. It's not Charles's decision whether or not his son gets paid security. It is, in fact, our government that's done it, which is why Harry sued our government, i.e. our Home Office. And I also have to mention this weird car chase, because he has form with regards to embellishing what's happened. Because in these court documents, a letter from the New York Police Department was entered into the court case by Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, and they claim that arrests could soon be made in a dangerous paparazzi chase they were involved in last year. And sources have said that there's not sufficient evidence enough to actually charge anyone. Now, this is where it was the near catastrophic car chase that went worldwide, when in fact even the cab driver just went, what? And the New York mayor just sort of said, didn't happen that way, sorry. In fact, the New York Police Department has told the Post that the case has been thoroughly probed by both the force and the Manhattan DA, and no charges are likely to be filed. Now, the court case made reference to a letter provided by the New York Police Department, which said wild paparazzi had been reckless and persistently dangerous in their pursuit of the Sussexes through Manhattan last May. The letter apparently went so far as to claim 2 suspects had been identified and could be arrested in connection to the supposed high-speed chase. But of course, NYP are saying that that's not the case at all, and that they have spoken to the Post, and that it's been thoroughly probed, and that no charges are likely to be filed. So what on earth is going on? Why has Harry submitted this letter? Why was this written in the first place if no charges were going to be filed against anybody? We all know that it was wildly exaggerated. There was no catastrophic or almost catastrophic car chase at all, because you can't really move that fast through that part of New York. In fact, the probe found reckless and unacceptable behaviour by the paparazzi, and Harry and Meghan's security actually contributed to the conditions by not adhering to the New York Police Department's proposed stop, police sources have said. Apparently, the Sussexes' reluctance to go to the planned stop with paparazzi was a contributing factor. Harry has been insistent someone be arrested. That requires evidence, which we don't have at this time, said the source, referring how the NYPD and Royals conferred during the incident about a planned destination where police could control the traffic flow. Apparently, this letter was sent to the Metropolitan Police on the 6th of December by the NYPD as part of the London High Court consideration of a lawsuit Prince Harry filed against the British government, demanding that he receive the kind of tax-funded police protection while in the UK that he was stripped of after leaving the royal family in 2020. We found the following: reckless disregard of vehicle and traffic laws and persistently dangerous and unacceptable behaviour on the part of the paparazzi during the night in question, the letter allegedly read. The individual paparazzi operated vehicles, scooters and bicycles in a manner that forced the security team, which included an NYPD lead car, to take evasive actions on several occasions, and a circuitous route to avoid being stuck by pursuing vehicles or trapped on side blocks. There was nothing there that was significant evidence to arrest two people for reckless endangerment. But it's very interesting to read that subsequently a separate letter was sent to the Met Police that found no one was arrestable. However, another letter was sent to the Royal Security Team that included mentions of a potential arrest, which was in error. I find it quite laughable that anything with regards to this supposed near catastrophic car case was ever entered into court documents, because, quite frankly, afterwards, the whole of the media just laughed. It was physically impossible, and most people, New Yorkers alike and the media, many of whom doubted the physical possibility of such a chase in a cramped and gridlock city streets. So a lot has come out with regards to this court case and his judicial review being denied. Now we know that he's going to appeal. Is it just going to be never ending? Is he just going to fight in the courts forever and stamp his feet and just go, I want it, I want it, I want it, I want it, until he actually gets it? Because that's never going to happen. The thing for me that blew me away was that the fact he said that he's in greater danger than Diana. And I think for me that is just bonkers. It really, really is. So deluded in his mind, and he's fixated. He's got, do you know what I think it is? I think he's got so much trauma with regards to his mother's death that he's almost imprinting it on his own life. And that's my personal opinion. And I think the way that he's behaved in the past and the things that he said really does cement that fact that he's got it in his head that this is going to happen to him or his wife. And no amount of security or anything like that will ever take that away. But I mean, no doubt, and this is just my own personal opinion, Meghan Markle fuels that fire within his brain. I'm sure that she does. In fact, I think what's actually going on is that it's the paranoia against the media, the paparazzi and everything. It's just all going on. And the only way that Harry can control it is that if he has his trusty royal protection officers by his side. And that's just not going to happen because, like I've always said, that he was sat down and explained what was going to happen. But in his deluded mind, he thought, well, that won't happen. Well, it did. And unfortunately, actions, like I've always said, have consequences. I firmly believe that in his mind, he should get whatever protection that he wants, irrelevant of whether it's in the UK or in America. I think that he just wants round-the-clock police protection. In his mind, he's that important, which then kind of solidifies the fact that he was saying, well, two people are going to be arrested over this near catastrophic car chase, when in fact, no, there wasn't enough evidence at all. In fact, your own security team made it worse. The fact that Harry is suing or appealing again, when in fact, what has actually been said that if there is a credible threat against Harry, you will be assigned a police team. But that's not good enough, is it? And I think that's what's frustrating a lot of people. No one's begrudging Harry being protected, but what people are begrudging is the fact that he is not a working member of the royal family, but yet every single time he comes into the country, irrelevant of it being as part of the royal family, he is demanding royal protection. They're not just going to let him flounder. There will be a case by case on individuals. And the fact is, also, they've been told that he needs to give them notice. So he actually needs to let the Home Office know when he's going to be in the country, and they will deem it on a case-by-case basis on whether or not he needs security. Surely that is good enough for anybody. So what do you guys think? Do you think that it was the right decision for the judge to deny that his judicial review took place? Do you think it's quite acceptable for the judge to say, no, you weren't treated unfairly, it wasn't unjust, and the decision still stands? Or do you think, well, he's a prince, prince of the realm, although I hate using that word, and that he is the monarch's son, and that he should get security? What do you think of him in court liking himself to be more in danger than Princess Diana? And what about this weird letter from the New York Police Department, when in fact it was sent in error when they found that no arrests were going to be made, but Harry ran with it and went, yay, look, 2 arrests are going to be made shortly, yay, look, I'm in danger, I'm in danger. In fact, Harry, that happened in New York. It didn't happen in the UK, it was in New York. But it didn't happen anyway because it was totally blown out of proportion. As always, I would love to know your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.